Welcome to the ultimate backstage pass, the pulsating heart of the high school sports universe. Get ready to rock with the gang from the Corner to Corner podcast as they take their sports obsessions to new heights. Meet the dream team, Sean Kuiper, Neil Payne, Adam Muncy, Wes Crouch, and Daron Stevens as they unpack the secrets, emotions, and triumphs that light up our local sports heroes. Whether you're gearing up for a game or unleashing cheers from the stands, get ready for an exclusive scoop that'll knock your socks off. It's showtime!
I got you set up over here. If you want to come around here, or we'll just do it this way. We're joined now by 10th Region Coach of the Year.
Not just 10th Region.
Courier Journal 10th Coach of the Year. You know, so you just had all kinds of titles, this year. But we got Robbie Graham here with us, GRC Lady Cards basketball coach. We were supposed to have you on the show, and then we had some scheduling conflicts. Thought you was getting recognized, so it's like, well, we'll sneak in to the game and then come over here and talk to you, and then that got canceled. So we got you anyway.
That's right. We're here.
We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Enjoy some softball while we're at it.
Absolutely.
So, but congratulations, great season. Made it to the championship game. Come up just a tad short there.
Yes, definitely.
But man,
I appreciate the kind words first and foremost, but I would trade all of that for the big trophy.
Absolutely.
We got the silver ball. I want the gold ball.
Yeah, right.
Kids played hard. They competed. Heck of a run. Fun group of kids. Got along, very enjoyable. To coach, we played 31 minutes. We led them for most of the game. When you're playing a champion, you got to kill them. We didn't left them life, and they took advantage of it. And they have maybe arguably the best player in Kentucky's high school girls basketball history, Zakiya Johnson, and she played like it. So made some crucial plays down the stretch.
We listened. We listened pretty much all day long to the first games and then the championship game that night. And point guard
Kennedy
was shooting lights out in the first game, and it's like she never seemed to find that same rhythm in the championship game. They played her a little tighter on defense. It kind of, at least that's what it listened like. Dan did a great job calling the game on that. So, if it's like you just was like, oh, God, if she just hit one of those shots, so
here to play there.
Yeah.
We started out a little rocky. They jumped out 12-3 on us. I think it was, a little nerves, atmosphere. I'd never played a championship game before. Of course, was their fifth year in a row playing a championship game. So we had to call timeout, kind of get to settle in a little bit, take a deep breath. Hey, everything's fine. And then after that, we kind of played a lot better. And it was a heck of a game, tremendous atmosphere. Our community came out, supported us. That GRC chant went around the Rupp Arena, talking about giving me chills. And I usually don't hear anything in the stands. I'm focused on the game. You hear that GRC chant, shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, both sides, boys and girls, 10th Region, phenomenal basketball all season long. Both, boys and girls represented well in the state tournament on both sides of it. So, everybody says there's nothing like basketball in the 10th Region, and I think everybody proved that this year for sure.
Absolutely. I'm a 10th Region guy, born and raised playing in Fleming County and, then coaching here at GRC. And I tell people all around the state of Kentucky, there's nothing like the 10th Region. It's just the fan support. The coaches are really good. Players are really good. The support that our schools give from our administration, it's just none but none.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you hearing him okay? Okay. Okay. Just as long as the crowd's hearing it, that's all that matters. So, give you a little bit of an update here on the game real quick. It is still 3-0. We've got 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and looks like Sarah Zink is up to bat for Montgomery, there's a player on third. So just want to give you a little bit of an update there on that part of it. And let's see. And Sarah is going to strike out and in the top of the first. And so we'll go to the bottom of the
top of the second.
Top of the second. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Lady Indians with a 3-0 lead right now over the Lady Cards. We want to take a commercial? We'll take our first commercial. We'll be right back.
The team at Community Trust Bank believes in making financial dreams come true. Just like a fairy godmother, they work tirelessly to ensure their clients have the security and support they need, while also helping them create a magical future. With a touch of personalized service and a sprinkle of expertise, they guide their clients towards their goals, whether big or small. At Community Trust Bank, they are not just about managing money, they are about nurturing dreams and building a prosperous future for all who walk through the door. Join their family and let them make your financial wishes come true. They are your friend in banking. Member FDIC. You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by Jacobs Auto Body Repair and Paint Shop is the ultimate pit stop for all your car needs. With a combined experience older than your grandma's secret cake recipe, we're here to fix you up. Drop us a line at 859-274-7425 for a free quote and let us get those wheels rolling. Our yearly growth is like a high-speed chase fueled by the love and trust of Mount Sterling and beyond. It's all hugs and high fives to our amazing crew of customers for keeping our engines revving with success. You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by CRC Roofing and Renovations. CRC sprung into life in the year 2000 thanks to Rusty Cerniglia's bold leap into entrepreneurship. Juggling a full-time job with his small gutter venture, he watched it blossom into CRC Renovations. Fast forward to today, CRC boasts a dream team ready to dazzle both homeowners and businesses alike with their top-notch services. You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by CRC Roofing.
All right, we are back here at Lady Cardinals Field as the Lady Cards come to bat here in the bottom of the second. 0-1 count. What do we got here?
Jada Grigsby.
Okay, yeah, Jada Grigsby. I was looking. I was like, I don't see a 22. So, but so Coach, you've got a couple of seniors that are leaving. Talk about them and what they've meant to your program over the last 4+ years, and then what's next year look like for us.
Yeah, we'll start. Obviously, Sierra Byers, has been an integral part of our program, since she was in the 7th grade. Leader, hard worker, dedicated. Got hurt last year, which I hated it for her. Devastating injury for her and for our program. Bounced back strong this year. Didn't get quite 100%, because it takes a while to get over the injury. But she battled her tail off, and she's going to go on to Michigan, so we wish her the very best. And she'll have a great career there. And what a opportunity to play in the Big Ten and get an education, play basketball. Then we have Madeline Settles graduating. Didn't play a lot of minutes. Probably one of the best kids I've ever coached. Just showed up every day, never complained. Actually won an award at the Boys State Tournament, some kind of academic award. I don't know the exact title, so I'm not going to say. She's going to go on to UK on a full academic scholarship, wants to be a veterinarian.
Very nice.
And we have Jalen Green, who's, she committed to West Virginia State. That coach left and at St. Leo now. So I think she's going to follow him to St. Leo, which is down in Tampa, Division II school for her career. We got Maya Maxwell, who's going to go to Wheeling University. West Virginia to play. It's a Division II school to further her career. And then Kanaya Jones just got accepted to Howard University last week. She's going to go as a student. I don't know if you're familiar with Howard, but it's HBCU.
Yep.
And it's very, very hard to get in.
Yeah.
Like they have their acceptance, and then they have several thousand kids on the waiting list. So what an honor for her to get accepted.
That's fantastic.
Our 5 seniors will be successful. They're great people, hard workers, and coming back. I mean, we bring back a lot. We're excited about next year. We had our end of year meetings. We do our team meeting, then we meet individually. We're talking our team meeting. It's like, you're eating your favorite dessert. You get that first bite, and then the second bite, third bite. Well, that's the way we feel about when we made the championship games.
Yeah.
We want more. We want one more sip. We want to finish the deal. Of course, it's hard to, it's hard. I mean, people think it's easy, but it's hard to win a district. It's hard to win a region. It's hard to win a state championship. I mean, I say that, but Sacred Heart's done it 5 times, but it wasn't easy.
Well, I mean, that's why they play the games, right? I mean, like you
100%.
you have I'm just thinking in reference to the boys side, Lawrence County didn't win their district.
Right.
They get in because of the way they placed in that what they do the super regional up there, and then they go on a run in the regionals and wind up getting to the state tournament. And they beat teams that they were not supposed to beat. So that is the beauty of Kentucky high school basketball, the Sweet 16. You've got a lot of states out there that's got the classes and stuff like that. And it's like I just be honest with you, I just don't think it would be as pure of a game if we had the class system here in high school in Kentucky, because I mean, you look at last year boys finals, you had 2 Class A teams that were playing in the championship game. And I know in the past there's been multiple Louisville teams, there's been Bowling Green and stuff like that. So you just never know. Who's going to make that run, who's going to get there, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, speaking of it, and I think 75% of the state of Indiana still wish they would go back to the one state champion. Yeah, those people hate it. People that have been around the game for years. I mean, the up and comers, obviously they don't know anything different. Yeah, but the old heads have been around. And they're like, man, I wish I see friends out coaching. Some of these terms are like, no, I wish we were back like Kentucky, like one state champions. Yeah, it's just it's a special feeling. Yeah, in the state when you can win that, boys and girls both. And speaking of Lawrence County, I'm fortunate enough to be able to go to the boys state tournament. After our state tournament, I enjoy that. That's my calm down, relax. Just watch some games. Don't have to worry about any pressure or anything. And I went to a restaurant with a couple of my friends after, and I didn't quite understand how the 15 region did their breakdown. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the gentleman there with his family, so I said, "Man, break it down to me." So he was like, explain it all, and I was like, "Makes sense now that somebody's telling me." Yeah, I'm reading about it. Super region, have no idea. But once you break it down, which do I like it? I don't know. Yeah, different. But I think one thing I disagree with is I think the state needs to be format across the board. Yeah, I get that. Those districts that don't seed, we've got, all these 62 districts to seed and 2 that don't. Come on. Yeah. Everybody needs to seed. Right. In my opinion. Right. All seed and all not seed. Yeah. Well, and it's a tad unfair for, because I mean, if you're the fourth ranked team, you're going to play the 1, right? And if you're the 2, you should play the 3. Yeah. Well, a lot of times that 2 gets drawn out to play the 1, and then your 2 who should be going to the regionals 100%. Don't even have an opportunity. 100%. So it's a little awkward in some of those for sure. But I do agree with you. I mean, everything else is consistent. We got 64 districts. We got 16 regions. Yep. Everything should be consistent across the board. 100%. Well, this is a great crowd for the game, by the way. I pulled up, couldn't find a spot. I think I parked illegally. I think I'll be okay. I think I know a couple people over here, so I hope I'll be okay. Yeah, no, the funny thing about it is, like I texted you earlier, I was like, well, once we found out it was Montgomery County GRC, they're like, well, why don't we just call it the game? Because, I mean, we hadn't had a chance to come do a softball game over here, so I text Terry, and I was like, hey, could we do the softball game? He goes, yeah. And I was like, we got to be on the field or in the booth? He goes, you can be in the booth. There's plenty of space. You don't have a gold tag that just says coach can park anywhere. Absolutely not. Got to toe that line like everybody else. He needs a golden license plate. Just says Robbie G on the back. Oh, just leave him alone. Speaking of this, Rob, I tell people that I think if Montgomery and Clark are playing marbles in the middle desert, it'd be they're watching. Yeah. Yep. And this is great. I mean, it's great. Completely agree. Baseball game yesterday with a fun atmosphere. It's a fun atmosphere. Yeah. Speaking of, I mean, GRC threw I can't remember the kid's name, but he threw a no-hitter against Montgomery County yesterday. So, we had a Montgomery County kid last week throw a no-hitter. Yeah. So, I mean, these two, programs are always competitive on the baseball softball field. And then, basketball is becoming more competitive. Jordan did a great job his first year at Montgomery County, and Coach Mays in his second year. What we got going on here? 1 and 2 the count, 2 out, and 1 on second. That's going to be 2 and 2. So, can't believe it's still just the bottom of the second. It feels like it's
a lot longer than that. So,
Well, there was a little bit of a controversy there that we made. Hagen Stilts made Hagen Stilts made a good catch out in right field,
that's
and
gonna be another strikeout for Riley
the
Martin.
umpire
and
called
hit
him
the
out, and Coach Bucket. Coach Bucket, the first base coach, was not too keen about that. It was pretty close, but
You know what they can't do out here on this field? Kick dirt.
Exactly. Can't kick any dirt.
You might kick some rubber pellets, but you ain't kicking no dirt. Oh shoot! So that's the end of the second inning, and your Lady Indians still lead 3-0, going to the top of the third now.
Special thanks to Brent Wehunt, Kentucky Farm Bureau in Frenchburg, the sponsor of our Athlete of the Month program in Menifee County. Special thanks to Kim Soft, our title sponsor of the From Corner to Corner Athlete of the Week in Montgomery County. Kim Soft, eco-friendly industrial services, is your go-to squad for all things squeaky clean in the commercial and industrial world. Based in the heart of Mount Sterling, they are your friendly cleaning wizards, serving up sparkling magic in areas like Lexington, Louisville, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Huntington, and beyond. Let's turn that grime into shine. Feeling jittery about diving into the world of property? Fret not. Let Kentucky Realty Group help. Whether you're gearing up to buy, sell, or just need some guidance.
I noticed, Coach, that Kylie Chestnut was hitting about the time that you walked up and we started talking to you, and I'm sure you've got quite a few of them that might be running track right now, and it's always good not to just stay on the basketball court. Get your mind open, play another sport. And there's a lot of college coaches out there that like those multi-sport players.
Do indeed, definitely.
Well, I'm pretty sure T East plays multiple sports, right? Or I know she's maybe volleyball. That's right. I was thinking soccer, but no, it was volleyball. I remember that now.
She's a state champion track.
She is. You're right.
Something else.
And do you push that? Do you want them to get out and do something other than basketball?
I don't tell them just to. Obviously, I would never tell them just to play basketball. But I always say that you're young ones. You can't go back and do what you need to do. And if a kid or two playing another sport is going to keep us from winning a championship, we're probably not going to win it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're going to go play volleyball in the fall, go soccer in the fall, go do that, have fun. When your season's over, take a little time off, then we'll see you then. Spring, our season's over. We're just doing pickup, open gym stuff right now. Go do it. Go enjoy it. And then in the summertime, we're together in June, summer basketball, and then some of them play AAU ball. Once we're done in June, they go AAU. I tell them go vacation, hang out with your buddies, do AAU, and just enjoy being a teenager.
Yeah.
Because these years fly by, no regrets. Don't have any regrets.
Going to have a walk there. Addison Rogers walks. We got one out so far. So Montgomery County with a runner on first now. Riley Martin up to bat.
I like that perspective of it because, high school does go by a lot quicker than you think it does. And if they get the chance, like a lot of these girls do in the 10th region, to play ball, regardless of what level they play,
That's right.
it's a different ball game once you get into college.
Absolutely.
You're there to do that, and they want you to do that all the time, and you don't get as much of that free time as you talk about.
And, one thing is the transfer portal, especially I think on the girls' side, some of the transfers, the Division I transfers, where you got to be there in June, you got to be there in July. School starts in August, and you're basketball every day, all day long. And I think a lot of girls, they love playing, but they don't necessarily want that commitment. So then they drop down a level of Division II or NAIA. You still got to work hard and still a commitment, but it is not the 12-month commitment.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And I tell kids, it doesn't matter where you go. Enjoy it, have fun, you get a chance to get a free education, get a chance to play the sport you love. So,
well, and we've talked to, we've been fortunate enough to talk to a lot of kids that have come on the show that have.
There's a John.
Uh-oh.
That one's out of here.
That is gone. home run by Riley Martin, a 2-run homer, dead center field. Hopefully the center fielder's okay. She ran into the fence.
She was watching that ball and didn't know how close that fence was, and she's taking it all in with her too. She's like, "Oh man."
Yeah.
It's like she's laughing a little bit, so I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to make it 5-0, Montgomery County.
Good news, I think she hit the mesh of the fence and not the pole.
Right.
Yeah. I was looking that way, and you see her just kind of fall off the fence, and it's like she's laughing at herself now. So that's good. That's a good sign that she's okay. So definitely don't want to see anybody get hurt. So I was going to ask you, Coach. Remind me, didn't you all make a trip to Phoenix this year?
We did.
How was that?
It was outstanding. It was competition was unbelievable. We played Archbishop Malloy out of California, San Jose, I think, and they were ranked at the time number 2 in the country. Cool. They had 8 Division I prospects, and they were good. And played a team out of New York. They have a post player that's a top 10 player in her class. She's a junior. Actually, she played in the Summit game against the other night, the Nike Summit games. She played with the foreign team. But it was unbelievable competition. The weather was great. Had some free time out there. They were setting record highs. I mean, it was 80 plus and sunny every day. And, actually, I worked at the alternative school here. So I FaceTimed one of my kids while I was out there. And he's like, I was in Palm Tree and whatever. He's like, where you at? Where you at? So I'm in Phoenix. He's like, it's really sunny out there. I said, yeah, it's 80 degrees. It was, kind of spitting snowing. Yeah. I want to be where you're at. Yeah, but it was, competition was great. Tournament was a good tournament. Teams were all over the country. So it was a good experience.
That's awesome. That's
one
awesome.
thing we try to do is, it's not always about basketball. My gosh, I mean, this is the whole world out there. And somebody on our team may not have ever get the opportunity to leave the state of Kentucky again. So we can provide some of those experiences. And we do that. We try to visit a college or two and, we try to catch a museum or just some, some educational stuff, some fun stuff, not just going swimming, but throw some educational stuff in there, for the experience. So, we're excited to do those things for our program.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I know, you see it a lot on, we had Bath County on not long ago. They go on spring break and they play tournaments, in Florida during spring break. So you see that happen a lot as well. It's kind of like a vacation, but hey, while I'm here, I'm going to play 4 softball games or baseball games. So, and I think, that's the kind of things when, we got another shot down the left field line here. And I think that was Jaden Oney. And she's going to drive in a run. And that's going to make it 6-0.
Jaden, is that Reagan's
cousin?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Reagan only. I saw. I mean, gosh, he's Zakiah Johnson of high school basketball. She that to softball. People were glad to see her get the heck. And college.
Well, and she's doing well at Troy.
They plugged her right into right field and never looked back.
She's had a couple of home runs already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but you talked earlier about that working, like she worked it all the time. Every free minute she had, she was in the batting cage, she was in the gym, and I mean, she lived it and loved it.
All the way up to the day she left for Troy, her and her dad went to the field and were working out that morning.
Yeah.
Then she come on our show and was leaving that night.
Yeah. And that was before that big snow hit.
Yep.
But we were talking to her how that went, and the hardest part about it was the schoolwork. She's like, that's what's hard. Yeah. She's like, I get a little frustrated because she had, had some rough grades there, but she got it lined out. But man, the season's rolling on down there now. So
she's one of my favorite high school athletes. I mean, just the effort, tremendous attitude, and the work ethic. And, just such a great young lady. What an ambassador for 10th Region once again.
Absolutely.
We're getting we're going to get a replacement pitcher here. Jada Grigsby, number 22, is going to come into the game for GRC. She's getting her warm-up pitches in.
So we talked about Arizona a little bit. Can you let us in on a little bit of intel about what the schedule is going to look like next year? Are you going somewhere like that again, or?
Won't be Phoenix. We talking to a few people trying to figure out the right situation.
Yeah.
There's some good tournaments out there, and once you have a little bit of success and people know you're willing to travel,
Sure.
Your phone burns up, your email is loaded up. So you just got to be pick and choose. And I mean, I wish we had like $1 zillion where we can go and something like that every year. You kind of get spoiled though. We've been to Tampa and we've been to Phoenix, and it's hard when you get an invitation to go up north.
Well, I mean, if you can squeeze in 4 more plane tickets, I mean, I know 4 guys that probably go with you.
Going to New York or somewhere like that in December, it just doesn't appeal to me very much.
It's like, look, if you're going to play in the cold, you just want to stay here, right?
100%. But so it's going to be a tough schedule again, and we're work in progress right now. We got probably about half of it there, just some working on some dates and moving some stuff around.
Sure. Will you be a part of the Gateway Classic or no?
We won't be. I think
I'd say everybody in that tournament's glad that we
see enough of the count.
Right.
One year we actually played. We both going to meet up in that, and then we worked it out. We're not going to play. We're going to see each other so much, so we arranged it. We'll play the other.
Because I mean, you theoretically, you played 4 times this year, right?
3.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's been 4 previous years. It was like 2, 3 years in a row, like 4 times.
Yeah. So that's how that old district tournament and regional tournament works out a lot. So
that's Douglas, and we always play Douglas, and he's having a tournament once it's come over there, and we're both in LIT, and I was like, man, I don't want to play you 4 times. I want to play somebody, but not the competition doesn't bother me. It's the fact. Just play somebody new.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're here for a baseball or a softball.
Yeah. Well, we got another run there.
Kenley Hawks here with the drives in and runs.
Makes it 7-0, Montgomery County. I mean, the camera's working. It's not like they can't tell what's going on. It's like, I heard that. I don't know if you remember a few years ago that the Brenneman guy on the Reds that said something inappropriate.
Yeah.
And then he's apologizing, and then Castellanos hits a home run, and there's a deep drive to center field, a home run, and then he goes right back into his apology. I was cracking up because that was just like so inopportune to be making that call, but it's like, oh shoot. That's what I feel like every time something happens. We're talking. It's like, so that's going to be a pop-up out number 2. Well, Coach, we won't keep you here any longer. We appreciate you making the drive out, come spending some time with us.
Plan on coming to watch the game anyway till I froze.
Yeah.
I tell the kids I'm going to come and support you, but it's got to get above 60.
Yeah.
So I choose basketball, climate control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, no problem,
man.
Guys, thank you. Appreciate everything you guys do for counties and student athletes. You do a tremendous job, and I know it's growing and growing and growing for you guys, and I appreciate you guys, and wish you nothing but success.
And the funny thing about it is like the coaches. Most of the the coaches are phenomenal, right? They understand how difficult it is for us to do 4 schools, particularly that are all close and stuff like that. Some of the players now, like if I was down here in MoCo, saw I was wearing this GRC hat, they'd be mad. but kind of my rule of thumb is whoever's hosting is who I'm wearing, So that's just kind of the way I do it. That way nobody can be mad at me.
All my guys in GRC Hoops.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that'd be great.
We'd love it.
Guys,
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming by.
Again, congratulations on a great season.
See you, Coach.
So.
The MoCo 4 Horsemen would like to thank you for listening to From Corner to Corner. Be sure to go out and follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube. Whatever podcast platform that you listen to us on, be sure to go out and give us a 5-star review. Thanks as always, and we look forward to seeing you next week.